Well, welcome to the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel. I've got a real strange one here. I was just watching Alan Jones on ADHTV. Alan Jones is one of the best reporters I've ever heard. I don't care for those feminists that don't like him. Rochelle Miller releases details of a $650,000 settlement. Now, this is a person that worked within staff. She's lawyers for former coalition staffer Rochelle Miller have accused the federal government of leaking information about the potential taxpayer-funded settlement. It is a taxpayers-funded settlement. That's the whole thing about it. We've paid the $650,000, whether she likes it or not. But what caused this woman to complain, guys? What caused this woman in November 2020, Miller complained to the Commonwealth that she'd been subjected to bullying, harassment and discrimination while working in the Coalition Minister's office. Now, the Coalition Minister, Alan Tudge, I'm sure that's him, right? She had an affair with him. Now, obviously, it's gone belly up. And she's got a nose out of joint. It's how I'm going to read it. And guess what? She's gone, watch this. Watch this. Rochelle Miller, who accused Alan Tudge of bullying during the relationship, makes historical claim against another Liberal MP. No, she wasn't bullied. She was used. She was aiming above her weight. The guy didn't want her. He just used her for sex. The former government staffer who accused senior Liberal MP Alan Tudge of abusing her while in a consensual relationship has alleged another Liberal politician sexually harassed her more than a decade ago. So this is how low those. Well, it's okay, she's got every right to say this, and it probably happened. But it's just cost the taxpayers $650,000 because she got a nose out of joint with the man she was sleeping with. I mean, this makes divorce look petty. Why don't we all go get a job wherever she worked, sleep with somebody, blame him for being a bastard, and then take the money and run? That's what she's done. Here's another typical instance of a woman with an agenda and a nose out of joint. I'm sorry, I don't care. It's obvious, isn't it? Isn't it obvious? And this is what happens in marriages, relationships. Obviously, this was a fling. She was only in the job for 2 years, apparently, according to Alan Jones. And we're going to go to Alan Jones now. This goes for 4 minutes or something, but listen to this, guys, and think of this Rochelle Miller and what she's done.
I think most people would agree that accountability and answerability are everything in government.
And it's everything in life. That's what this channel's about, teaching people accountability and responsibility and showing the negligence of people in our communities and what they do when they're just totally off the rails. Let's follow up with our scripture. Evil people will surely be punished, but the children of the godly will go free.
As you've heard me say many times, I can't think of a problem that our nation faces where the architect of that problem has not been government itself. Every other day, hard-working Australians who are taxed to the eyeballs are angry about the way taxpayers' money is spent, and they feel they have no voice, if I could use a bastardised word.
100%.
Well, if we're talking about accountability, why haven't the federal opposition sought answers as to how Brittany Higgins received a payout of reportedly $3 million? It's taxpayers' money, no matter the amount. I've said before, we should know how much, what for, how this was calculated, and what scrutiny was applied to the process.
Do you agree with that, guys? Like, imagine if that's what was happening in divorce court. A lot of these women wouldn't be running off with the money and the children and all this other stuff. A lot of women are getting divorced. They've been ran through by some strange bloke outside the marriage. The poor old husband's done nothing wrong. He's tried to navigate this out-of-control woman. And in some cases, women that have been married before with children, and their children have just destroyed everything in the wake. And this guy's done nothing wrong. and the next thing he's lost his own children, his assets. No, man, this is a classic example of how this is leaking down from the top.
The little bit we've been told says it was the subject of mediation, but that mediation lasted less than a day. Who was involved in the mediation?
100%.
Who signed off on such a massive amount with obviously little discussion? Mediation is a process in which the pros and cons of a case are argued and debated. Taxpayers would think of 1,000 cons, that is, reasons against such a multi-million-dollar payment being made. If this is the way government operates, something drastically needs to be done. The cavalier way the taxpayers' money is shelled out is an absolute insult to the battlers in Struggle Street who would never see these amounts of money in a lifetime.
Do you agree? Is Alan Jones onto something here or what? This guy's one of the best in the business to expose rubbish and garbage. That's why he's so hated, particularly by the feminists.
How do you qualify for them? Another former coalition staffer, Rochelle Miller, reportedly got $650,000 in a settlement. We were told for hurt, distress and humiliation.
But she sued the man she was sleeping with, who probably kicked her to the curb.
Allegedly, that she suffered while working for former ministers, Liberal ministers Alan Tudge and Michaelia Cash. Now, I don't know Tudge all that well. I know Michaelia Cash. It is impossible for me as a taxpayer to believe that anyone would be hurt or humiliated in the workplace by Michaelia Cash. I understand no admission of liability was made by the government. So what the hell's going on here? This is another Liberal media staffer who worked for Ministers Tudge and Cash between a couple of years, 2016 and 2018. Nothing, 5 minutes. She apparently filed a complaint with the Department of Finance alleging bullying, harassment and discrimination at work. For part of the time she worked for Alan Tudge, she was having an affair with him.
Yeah, she wasn't getting bullied when she was getting banged by him. She might want to say banged and dumped. Banged and dumped, banged and kicked to the curb, and now I want my money.
And yet now a deed of release from the Finance Department, which has the oversight of all of this, said she would be paid $650,000, quote, in respect of her damage and loss which occurred during the employment but prior to the termination of the employment and in no way connected to the termination of the employment, unquote. What the hell does that mumbo-jumbo mean? And who determines this stuff?
Who does determine it? $3 million to one woman, $650,000 to this disgruntled woman. She's had the crap banged out of her and now she's got the shits with him and she's gone and sued them all.
$1 million allegedly to Brittany Higgins and now to this Rochelle Miller, $10,000 in respect of past loss of earning capacity, $100,000 in respect of future earning capacity. That is, if anyone would want to employ her.
It's like a divorce, isn't it? And this woman was banging the boss.
$28,000 as reimbursement for past medical and like expenses. $28,000. $62,000 for future medical expenses. $62,000.
Like, what's happened to her? What happened? Is she pregnant or something? Or oh, come on, guys. This has gone all too far, hasn't it? Like, really? This is what this woman's getting. Oh, come on, guys.
$300,000 for hurt, distress, humiliation, dislocation of life, loss of professional standing, and impairment of personal dignity. And
her personal dignity was kicked out the window when she opened her legs.
$150,000 for reimbursement of her legal costs.
Oh,
this person worked for 2 ministers for 5 minutes between 2016 and 2018, and during part of the time was having an affair with one of them. And she comes out the other end with $650,000 uncontested dollars.
Good on you, Alan.
That's what someone on the median wage, that's the wage right in the middle of those earning above it, those earning below it. This would take someone on the median wage 10 years to earn.
Good on you, Alan. Like, come on, somebody salute this guy. Evil people will surely be punished, but the children of the ungodly will go free. This woman right, has allowed herself to be banged by a boss, kicked to the curb, and's got a nose out of joint and sued the absolute crap out of the taxpayers. Oh, come on, guys.
And there's no debate. What the
And
hell
you know
is...
what? That's what happened to me. This woman I was married to, right? I never done a thing wrong. I was going to work in a fucking wheelchair and on crutches to lay bricks, right? You can't even get normal people that can walk and have both their arms and legs and everything to fucking lay bricks. I'm going to work in a wheelchair and on crutches and whatnot. And this woman's lazy son moved into my house, our house at the time. The daughter was having affairs on the internet or whatever she was doing. We'll never know, but something wasn't right. She got a vendetta on me because I said we won't have that in our house. The son sat his ass in here and did nothing. This woman had a massive operation and was running around after him like the blue ass fly. He wouldn't pay his rent. I asked them both to get out and leave. Get out. Actually, I said, F off. I've had enough of yous. By the time that woman had finished with me, I lost it was over $100,000, well over, up around $200,000. I never done a thing wrong. Come on, guys. Really? These women are getting away with murder.
Going on in public administration in this country.
Thank you, Alan Jones. Honestly, I salute that man. He is such a great, honest reporter, and people don't like him. I don't know why they don't like him.
Very important, something critical to our
I
democracy.
think he's fantastic.
And it broke today. You've been misled about The Voice, and today
we won't go into The Voice. Fuck that. That's just another joke in itself. But guys. Evil people will surely be punished, but the children of the ungodly will go free. So are you ungodly? Do you care about your children? Because if you are ungodly, your children will be punished and they will not go free. This woman had an affair with the boss, got a nose out of joint because she was probably kicked to the curb, and got a $650,000 payout out of our pockets. You're on the Pro Bricky exclusive YouTube channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. We'll catch you on the next one.